Hey fellas, and welcome back to Quite with a Y. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about something you might have been hearing going on Reddit, where pretty much the entire site is just blanked out. If you go to reddit.com right about now, you'll probably see a much blander homepage than you're used to, and I'm sure that a not small amount of the posts that will even still be on your timeline are talking about why there's such little shit on there. If you don't know, a bunch of subreddit communities are essentially holding a joint protest against some changes that Reddit has recently made. They had some policy changes that would essentially be just squeezing every third-party app that uses Reddit's API dry. Reddit's mobile app is considered notoriously dogshit. I still use it because I'm a sucker and I don't have a bar of quality higher than the actual thing to judge it by. But even I know that it's lacking in a lot of places, and it hasn't really improved that much over time. And apparently one of the biggest things it's never caught up on is moderation tools. A lot of people will do moderation off of a desktop because there's a bunch of tools there, but a whole lot more people probably use their phone, and the only way they could do this kind of moderation on mobile was with the tools that third-party apps provided. Apollo, one of the biggest third-party Reddit apps, is getting completely shut down. The people behind it essentially said that it's going to be too expensive to run when the changes that Reddit's putting in place get implemented in July. And when I say that it sounds like the charges they would have had to pay are nuts, it sounds like it would have been $3 per user, which there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on this third-party app alone, but something like $3 per user per month, which the Apollo guys estimated comes out to around $20 million a month in fees. I don't know if Apollo was ever something that made a profit. That is nuts! So it's not people just having a shit fit over cosmetic stuff. It's changes that are going to make using Reddit actively harder for the people that actually keep the communities running. And listen, there is no way to say, yeah, Reddit's having a blackout protest without it sounding cringe, but that's like all stigma, and jokes aside, this is absolutely something worth getting behind in my opinion. I Quite have been a long-standing and proud Reddit channel. Whether I would say it out loud or not, I would get a lot of the content that I covered from that site. It's paid for so many months of rent and my cat's meals. Hell, I even had some like niche Reddit stuff planned for this channel that I'll probably hold off on for now, but still might see the light of day. Reddit's essentially a part of my life, and I rely on a lot of those sub-communities to do like what I do. Not even just for work, but you don't realize how much Reddit has integrated itself into your life and how you find things out until it's gone. Everybody has had this experience, but they've had their own niche version of it. Where in the last few days, you might have gone to look up something on Google, and then you type Reddit after to hopefully get a human answer, someone who's like physically had the issue and knows specifically what to do. And when you click on the link that comes up, you see, oh yeah, that's right, they're in the middle of a blackout. I can't access this information. I've seen a lot of tweets of people having the same experience, just now realizing, it's like, oh wait, yeah, this is incredibly useful stuff and it's important that it's accessible. You start realizing, oh wait, yeah, I use this stuff, it's really useful. And that Reddit is a treasure trove of first-hand information from people who are involved with the thing you're looking up. As much as we clown on it and ourselves for the type of people we imagine use Reddit on a daily basis, the truth is a lot of us do it because we're there for our niche sub-communities, and those communities almost always gather on subreddits now. They don't have their own forums like they did back in early internet days. Now, this blackout is supposed to go for 48 hours. It started June 12th, and I believe is supposed to end the 14th. So while I'm writing, recording, and I believe uploading this, it is still going on. And it's not even just niche communities that aren't in Reddit's good graces that are doing this protest. It is some of the front pagers. I'm talking r/gaming, r/science, some of the most generically broad topics you could think about that you see right when you make a Reddit account. Some like r/music aren't planning on stopping the blackout after the 48-hour period. It's going indefinitely for them. And I've read that r/videos is just going offline completely. Like, even after this protest, they are not coming back. Some have speculated that because it was such a major subreddit and that it was a front pager that shared tons of viral content, that the sub might get repoed by Reddit corporate. They're not just gonna let a subreddit like that sit there doing nothing. That being said, not every community is participating. All the major ones that I'm subscribed to have been completely offline. I have not seen an Am I the Asshole anytime recently. The one I browsed the most that I saw was still up was r/Skyrim mods. And on top of acknowledging what's happening and getting people up to speed on what it's about if they don't already, I think the reasoning for it is pretty solid in that most of the traffic on Skyrim mods apparently doesn't come from Reddit proper. It's folks specifically seeking it out because they're already into Skyrim mods and are probably a part of other forums like on Nexus. But they raised that same good point of all the sub-communities being on Reddit means that if Reddit makes a bad change, every community suffers. If Reddit goes away, all of those sub-communities disappear, or at least the versions of them that were on Reddit. You've definitely heard the saying, the internet is forever. If you post it, it never goes away truly. And that's true to some extent, but not really. The internet is a lot of information at once, and everything's flying by that fast, shit gets lost. If people don't bother to archive it, it doesn't magically just get saved somewhere. The archives of communities and discussions on forums, media, and info get lost and made inaccessible every day on the internet. We live in like a more and more digital world, the cyberspace, and as it's become more prevalent, it's become like super centralized, where there's one platform owned by a single company that holds an entire niche of a type of social interaction on the internet. Reddit has forums, Twitter has like being able to say anything to anybody, YouTube is all video, Facebook is all 50-year-olds and above. So if the people behind that singular platform end up making bad choices, it doesn't just fuck up the niche forums of a hobbyist group. It's kind of like just dropping a meteor in the ocean. All the ripples are left to go out, affecting everyone on shore. The API changes are like not even that new. It feels like every social media company, if that's what you consider Reddit, has a reckoning or two in its lifetime. Like way back in the day, Tumblr banning porn we thought was going to be the death knell of that site, and it's never really been the same, but it's still alive. It just feels like recently a bunch of these platforms have simultaneously been making bad decisions, or at least ones that aren't great for the users. Things that just cannibalize the user base. Like recently Twitch with all of its stupid ass policies it's been putting in. It seems like a new thing they tried to sneak into the terms of service that goes viral on Twitter every day. Elon has recently made actually very similar API changes to Twitter, where it's no longer open to access freely and you have to pay to use it. That killed a lot of what are given like gimmick accounts and personal projects or features, which I still think it sucks those things don't continue to get operated and are absolutely worth preservation. But it also killed a lot of actually useful tools on Twitter, things that certain groups of people relied on in order to use Twitter in a specific way or do specific things for an account they were in charge of. Discord is an example of a platform collapsing, at least not yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, but in the same way that forums have moved to Reddit, forums have also moved to Discord, like in congregate in servers now. And these servers will get effectively used for all discussion regarding the topic that these people know each other from. People will actively share what they're working on in Discord servers, sending the files there. And oftentimes, if the server that all of this work is in gets deleted, it's not archived. It's just gone. And all of that stuff is just missing forever because it was operating in a place that wasn't really made for file storage or preservation. It's just so easy to lose so much. Reddit's reasoning for their changes was essentially, listen, we need to make money and we're doing this to make money. They said that in so many words. It was something closer to, we need to be a self-sustaining company or whatever. I know in recent years, Reddit has been looking to get listed on the IPO or the stock exchange. It's gotten delayed a few times since then, but I imagine they're pretty happy that they don't have a stock right now because that graph would not look pretty. I'm hoping this works out in the way that it's intended, but even if it does, it doesn't really remove the risk of this kind of thing happening again on Reddit or even elsewhere. It's kind of just the state of things, man. These platforms are just so baked in and entrenched into how we use the internet and our daily routines that when they're gone, like not being able to look up something on Reddit for help, you feel it. It becomes clear how much these things being gone would change. That's all I got for today. If I got anything wrong or missed anything, let me know in the comments, and if you guys have any thoughts on this topic. If you want to send me any topics, hit that kwytebox@gmail.com. Anyways, piss off.